As we approach another national election this fall, I've been thinking a lot about 4 years ago, about the summer of 2016. It was a particularly stormy summer around here, some of you might remember, and I'm not meaning metaphorically, although it was that too. There were these dispersed, unpredictable storms that were really, really strong that summer, with like a really focused intensity and intense lightning and thunder. And I remember the first couple of weeks in July that summer, it seemed like almost every night there was a big storm somewhere around here and electricity got knocked out, there were trees down. And one of those nights, and some of you know this story or will remember it, one of those nights my family, ended up with water pouring into our house. The water soaked the cardboard boxes that we had saved in the attic, you know, the stuff you want to save for the future for some reason. Some of it sentimental, some of it because you just don't know what else to do with it. There was my mama's picture collection in a box up there, and my grandfather's elementary school readers, my great-grandmother's family Bible, hand-me-down clothes waiting for the kids to grow, my papa's old union files. The water soaked what was in the attic, and then it continued on, leaking down into the first floor of our house, into the ceilings, the walls, widening the cracks in the plaster that were already there, opening some new ones, filling a light fixture that hung down from the ceiling until it got so full it smashed on the ground. And the feeling I got, I can recall it right now, the feeling I got in my legs and in the pit of my stomach when I first heard the water coming through the ceiling was not that different from the feeling I had experienced that summer and have experienced since that summer, hearing then presidential candidate Trump speak of what the supporters of the Second Amendment might do if his opponent got elected to office. Shaky knees and knotted stomach of fear. I thought then, and I still think on most days, oh, the roof has been ripped off and the storm has come and we are all exposed, and the stuff of life that we want to save is in danger. Things much more precious than my mama's picture collection. And do we have what we need? Do we have the tools to save our house from the storm? Now, why my family had water pouring into our house that night is a longer, boring story. What you need to know is that we were all fine and our house ended up being fine eventually. That's not the point of me telling you this story. But the thing is, I didn't know the moment that the water was pouring through our house, I didn't know if we would all be okay. I didn't know if our house would be okay. I didn't think in that moment, oh, everything will be all right. I didn't feel that in my legs or in my stomach. I just felt what I was feeling, which was scared, unsure what to do. And I pulled my kids onto my lap because they were scared too. And we did the best we could to catch the water where we could. And I called my sister. So maybe you have had some of those similar moments of fear, maybe last week, maybe it was a few months ago that comes to mind. lose something or someone important to you, whether it's a family heirloom or the idea of who you thought you would become, or a family member or a dear friend. Experience a deep loss like that, and it can feel like the whole house is in disarray and a layer of protection is gone. Things will not be the way I thought they would be. And sometimes realizing that what you thought was true is not actually true, maybe about a relationship or about a job or an organization or maybe yourself. Having that realization can really rip the roof off, right? And feel like we are suddenly in this very vulnerable place. Sometimes collections of smaller events can build over time until one day you feel like you are in a life that you don't actually want. You find yourself totally open to the sky, no roof to shelter you, and not sure if you have sunshine or gentle rain coming next. And it's a basic human experience to react with fear when those times come, those times that we cannot necessarily control, especially when it is times that appear to threaten us or people we love. It's also at times, sometimes a realization though, the roof has come off and we suddenly see things as they are, the vast power of things that are out of control, out of our control. And once we see things as they are, we can't unlearn this. We can't necessarily go back. So yes, I've been thinking a lot about the summer of 2016. We can't go back as a community, as a nation, to the way things were before. Our house, our collective house, is never going to be quite the same. And so what is our way forward? What is our way forward through the fear and the despair? Now that we very clearly have this knowledge of our vulnerability. I feel like the last 4 years I've been trying out some different answers to that question. And I don't think there is an answer or an easy answer. Over the last few years, I've thought about and read about and talked with you all about the concept of resilience. You know, finding what kind of helps you bounce back from a hard experience. And honestly, y'all, I am not sure about any of that right now. Given the enormous losses we are experiencing on a global scale right now, easy answers about bouncing back are not what are needed. They are not going to serve us. We are all, in different ways, yet all of us, experiencing a collective trauma right now. Not just in our nation, but around the globe. And so much is out of our immediate control. There's storms, fires, there's death and suffering. There's presidential campaigns, not in our immediate control. But here's what I know, I think. When the water is pouring into your house is not the time to get up on the roof and fix it. When you are experiencing a trauma is not when to hold yourself to some ideal standard of healing or strength. It is a time to hold on really tightly to who you are and who you love and what you love. and to breathe and to reach out and call someone for help. And I think today that that's what a spiritual practice is all about. It is about practicing those things that remind us who we are, who and what we love, and who and what we rely on, so that in times of stress, in emergencies, it is second nature that we go there. So whatever it is you can do in the course of your daily life that reminds you that you are a human being, which is a miraculous thing, that you are connected to other human beings and to all the creatures and living things of this earth, and reminds you that you are connected to all that has ever existed. Whatever you can do that reminds you you are both a totally unique expression of life and also just this tiny speck in a vast universe we don't even understand. Whatever it is that can help you remember and hold that knowledge in your body, that is your practice. That is your spiritual practice for these times. Our spiritual practice for these times. And it might be simply pausing every morning or night or in the middle of the day, whenever you think of it, to just drink down a glass of water. Not only is it important to stay hydrated right now, but it gives you a moment, as we did earlier in the service today, to just remember our connection. Remember your connection. Another practice I want to invite you to participate in today and to think about how you can carry it in the weeks ahead is to simply pick one word of intention, not for the whole year. Let's just start with the next 3 months. One word of your intention that you want to hold and return to over and over, that you want to share with others around you. One word of promise to yourself, how you want to be grounded in this time. So in a moment, I'll invite you to share those chat. And then at the end of our service today, later today, privately or with the person that you're with, I invite you to say that word out loud and either drink the rest of your water or go outside and pour it into the earth, return that water to the earth. That's my invitation for you today as part of our water ceremony. As you say that word, as you share that word, as you find what little practices you can do in your life, I want you to know that that word is heard, that those actions matter, that they can add up to maybe slow, but to a transformation of our common life together. Let us remember that we are the boat and we are the sea. I sail in you and you sail in me. May it be so. Amen.